Hi guys, so this is the second half of the final review. Ms. Jimenez did the first half and I'm doing the second half. So for this one it says, the following graph shows the trajectory of a jet. Write the equation that will represent this graph. And then on the side it says, choose 2 points and find the slope using the slope formula. So slope formula, if you have forgotten, this is m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Okay, and that's a 1. I know it's kind of, let me see if I can fix that real quick. This is a 1 right here. Okay, so we can pick any 2 points, it doesn't matter. Let's just pick, but it has to be like exact points so that we know the exact values. So let's say let's see, we could do 0 0. So we could do this one right here because this is an exact point. 0 0. This one isn't an exact point. This one also isn't. This one either. This one either. This one is. So we're going to use this point right here and this point right here. So let's go ahead and label it. This one is obviously 0, 0. And then this one, well, let's look at the x value. This is the x-axis right here, okay? What's the x value of this point? Well, let's look it down. It's 2,000. So 2,000 is your x, and then your y is 1,000. So we're going to go ahead and label that. So 2,000. Sorry, guys, I'm using my finger again. I still can't find my pen, so it's kind of hard to write on this. But this is a 2,000, and then the y we said was 1,000. Okay, and then that's my comma. So now all we have to do is plug it in. So actually, before we do that, you need to label your points. So it doesn't matter which you pick to be your first or second point, but but it has to be like x1, y1. It can't be x1, y2. Okay, so make sure if it's your first point, they both need to be 1. So x1, y1, and this one's x2, y2. So now that I labeled my points, now I know what to work with in this formula right here. So now I know where the y2, what number goes for y2, I know what number goes for y1, and so on. So let's plug that in. So let's do y2. Well, y2 is 1,000 over, oh, sorry, before we do that, minus, what's y1? Well, y1 is 0 over x2. x2 is 2,000 minus x1, which is also 0. So 1,000 minus 0 is just 1,000. Over 2,000 minus 0 is just 2,000. And if you were to divide this, you will get 1,000. So you would just put this in your calculator. For this, you can use decimals, or if you have a graphing calculator, you would do it there too. So let's see. It says, then notice the form used, point slope, so make sure the ordered pair that is used is in the correct spots. So, point slope formula, we have to remember what it is. So the point slope formula is y minus y1 equals m parentheses x minus x1. Let me make that a little nicer. X minus x1 close parentheses. So now all we do is plug everything in, okay? So look at your answer choices. First of all, we already found the m, okay? So you can do process of elimination. We said the m was 1/2. So the m is the one right here next to the parentheses. This is your slope. Which one of these has 1/2? Well, we can see that A has 1/2 and C has 1/2. So that means B and D are gone. All right, B and D are gone. And then we have, now we have to figure out if they put the ordered pair incorrectly, because the y1 is on the left side, and then the x1 is on the right side. So what is the y value here? 1000, right? So for y1, you're going to plug in 1000. But remember, you do the opposite. So this is a positive 1000. Whenever you put it here into the point slope formula, it becomes a negative 1000. Which one has negative 1000 on the left side? A or C? So we can see that it's obviously C. But now let's just make sure that they did the x correct. So the x is on the right side of the equation, okay? The x value is 2000. Now remember, we do the opposite. So what's the opposite of 2000? Negative 2000. Did they get that? Yes, they did. So right here, they had them flipped. So it's really important that you know the formula as it is, because that's just the way it's supposed to go. So if they have them flipped, that is incorrect, even if they have the same numbers. So then our answer is going to be C. All right, moving on. All right, guys, so for this one, it says the graphs of F, blue line, and G, green line, are shown below. So I'm going to go ahead and label those just so that we have some clarification. So F is the blue line. So this is F. And then G is the green line. All right. Now it says recognize that the graph of F is in the linear parent function. So F of X equals X. Okay, that's your original. Now use decimals and type in f of x equals x. Again, that is your original. That's going to be your blue line in the first box. And in the second box, type in, I think that's a typo, I should say type in. So type in one of the answer choices. Try to find the one that matches the graph to see on the left. Okay, so we're going to see which one looks like the green line. The F, the blue line, is your original. So on the first box on decimals, you're going to type in this part right here. F of x equals x. Okay, then on the second line, you're going to type in all of these and see which one looks like the green line right here. Which one looks like this graph right here? Okay, like the original, and then the transformation taken. So I'm gonna do it on my decimals. I already gave you guys the steps on how to do it. I don't think I can show you guys just because of the application that I'm using. But yes, those are the steps. So again, all right, look guys, right here. These are the steps right here. And then I'll come back in and give you guys the answer. Alright guys, so I just finished typing everything on decimals. Again, the steps are first type in the f of x equals x on the first line, and then on the second one you should have typed in g of x equals f of x minus 1. Now whenever I typed that one in, it was a parallel line. You should have gotten a parallel line too. So that this obviously isn't a parallel line, you know, so that's not the answer. Whenever I typed in G, I got the green light. Sorry, the green line, and that is what we were looking for. So G should have been my answer. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and move on. All right, for this question, it says, which equation of the line has a x-intercept of -4 that is perpendicular to the graph of the line y equals 6? So think about HOY and VUX. Okay, they give us is perpendicular to the graph of a line that is y equals to 6. So if y equals 6, that means that's going to be HOY. So H stands for horizontal. So that means, to visually see it, if you have a line like this, right? This is our grid. This is the X and the Y. If y equals 6, that means that it is crossing, let's say this is 6. Oh my goodness, it's so hard to write on this. Okay, let's say this is 6, right? And it's a line like going like that. And they want us to find an equation of a line that has an x-intercept of -4 and is perpendicular. So if it's perpendicular, if they want it to be perpendicular to this line, are we gonna have to have a horizontal line to be perpendicular? Or are we going to need to have a vertical line. Now, it is going to be a vertical line, and also another way to figure it out is because they told you the x-intercept. The x-intercept is where it crosses the x-axis. So which one of these, you can eliminate A and B because we know that our answer is going to be x. X is equal to something. And then they give us already what it's equal to because they want it to cross at -4. So the only answer choice that makes sense would be C. All right. All right, for the next one, which equation of a line is parallel to the x-axis and goes through -7, -9? So the x-axis is horizontal, so for a line to be parallel, it means it also has to be horizontal. The equation for the horizontal, oh my gosh, sorry guys. Horizontal line is y equals, so we find the equation that has y equals, so the y value of the ordered pair given. So again, if you need like a visual, if you were to draw, let's see, if you were to draw the actual graph, right? Again, this is your y and this is your x. It says which equation of a line is parallel to the x-axis. So if it's parallel to the x-axis, this is the x-axis. We want it to be parallel. Are we going to need to have a vertical line or another horizontal line? So you should have said horizontal, right? Horizontal would be parallel to this, the x-axis. Now, what axis does this line cross? If I were to draw a line, a horizontal line, it would cross the y-axis, right? It would cross this line right here. So this is the y-axis. So what is our y value? Our y value here is -9. So our answer would be y equals -9. All right, next one. The table shows the average and maximum longevity of various animals in captivity. What does the correlation coefficient of this data say about the linear relationship between the average and maximum of animals in captivity? So for this one, you're going to use the TI-84 or you're going to use Desmos to do linear regression. You are looking for the value of R to interpret its meaning. Remember, the R is your correlation coefficient. So if you're going to do it on Desmos, which is the way that most of us preferred learning it, it was just easier for us. So I'm gonna show you guys how to do it on Desmos. So for Desmos, you're gonna have 3 different steps. So the first step is gonna be click the plus sign, okay, and oh my gosh, and add table. The second step is write your values. And then the third step is you're going to write down y1 and then the squiggly line mx1 plus b. Okay? On the second line, okay? On the second line. That's where you're going to write down the equation. And then you're going to look for R. R equals what? That's what we're looking for, right? We're looking for the correlation coefficient. So go ahead and do that. Click on the plus sign, add table. You're going to write down all of these values, okay? This is the top one, the average is your X. The bottom one is the max is your Y. So go ahead and do that and then type in this equation and we'll come back and see if we got the same thing, okay? All right, guys. So I also forgot to mention, because I know whenever I was teaching this, we were struggling to find the squiggly line right here. So the squiggly line is going to be above the tab button on or the tab keyboard, or not the keyboard, but the tab key on your keyboard. So you're going to do shift and then it's going to be on there, okay? So I got that R is equal to 0.8818, okay? Now remember, if it is above 0.5, then it is going to be a strong positive correlation. If it is below 0.5, it's going to be a weak positive correlation. And then if it is above negative 0.5, then it's going to be a strong negative correlation. And if it is below negative 0.5, it is going to be a weak negative correlation. So 0.8818, if we round that, we would get 0.88. So that's still above the 0.5. Obviously, this is positive, right? So we can go ahead and delete D because it says there is a strong negative correlation. We just said it is positive, so you can delete that one. And then there is no correlation between the average. Well, that's false because we did find a correlation. So C is gone too. Now, we have to figure out if it is a strong positive correlation or a weak positive correlation. Well, we just said if it is above 0.5, it is considered a strong positive. 0.88, it is above 0.5. So what do you think is the answer? If you picked A, you are correct. All right. For the next one, a convenience store manager notices that sales of soft drinks are higher on hotter days, so he assembles the data in a table shown below. What is the correlation coefficient of this data? Again, same thing. I'm going to write down the steps just so that we know what they are by heart, okay? So the first step is going to be click on the plus sign and add table. The second step is going to be to add values, add your table values. So you're going to fill in the table with this that they give us. Okay? So add table. Again, this is your X and then this is your Y values. And then the last step is going to be to write down your equation on the next line, on the second line on decimals. You're going to do Y1 squiggly line. Remember, the squiggly line is above your tab button on your keyboard. So Y1 MX1 plus B. And then we're looking for R. The R is what represents your correlation coefficient. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to plug in my values. We're going to follow these 3 steps, and then we'll come back and see if we got the same answer. All right, guys. So for the correlation coefficient for R, once I typed in all my table values and I typed in my equation on the second line on decimals, I got that R is equal to 0.9673. So if we round up, it would give us the answer choice of H. So go ahead and circle H. That is your answer, okay? I'm going to go ahead and stop the video right here, but we do have a few more questions, so we'll finish this in another video.